to East Coast Living Stones. Today I'm gonna go over quickly how I keep my lithops alive, healthy and happy. Since I've been launching the page and the group for a couple weeks now, so we have enough people now in our group, so I'm gonna go over this quickly. So the main thing for lithops is number one is the soil. The soil mix have to be pretty good. Number two, the root of the lithops itself. We will go over that. Number three, how I usually water them. Number four, the good airflow and the humidity in the house. So let's go with the first one, the soil mix. Okay, so number one is the soil mix. I used to be a member of so many groups online, and it's a lot of recommend out there what to use and that, and I was like, oh my god, that's so much information. Anyway, I decided, so I pick what I have and where like I can get my hands on locally, so that way I don't have to go out and buy a lot of stuff. Anyway, my main mix for my adult lithops and the baby lithops is a gravel that I got like close to my house, around my area, the river. I go to the river and I sifted them. I bought the sifter that about 3 millimeter. You don't want anything bigger than that because the root are so small, so they need to grab onto something. So that's a good size for them. But I will put the mix of my soil again in the video, so that way you know exactly what I use. But keep it simple. Don't overthink it, because sometimes you can't get everything that people recommended you to get, so we had to compromise a little bit. But the good soil for lithops is have to be very fast draining. Like if you water them, as soon as water hit the soil, the water should go like disappear on it, in it. So I have an example here. I didn't water this for a couple days now, so I'm gonna show you how it should look. So as soon as I put the water in, it shouldn't sit on top. It should just disappear into the soil, just like that. That to me is a good soil for them. So I just water a little bit like that, and then it just go away. So if you have your lithops at home and you didn't water it for a while, and then you put water on it and then kind of sit on top for a couple seconds or so, you might have a little too much organic in them. So that's the number one, the soil. This is important, because if they sit in the damp too long, they just rot right on the body, like right around here. And when it rot there, it's really hard to bring it back. So keep in mind, keep it simple. Number two is the root of the lithops itself. I don't have one to show you right here, but I will put the picture in the video. So let's say, for example, if you got the lithops from me, I usually don't take them out of the soil until the night before I ship it to you. So if you get it like a next day, because I have seen some of my customers got it like a next day, you don't need to trim the root or anything. Just jam it right into the soil and just give it a little water and just let it be. But sometimes if you got the lithops in the mail and it been in the mail for, let's say, 2 or 3 weeks, sometimes the root will get dry and you should trim them and then you put in the soil. But that's basically it for the root. The reason you trim them is if it's dry, when you put it in the soil, you water it, it can't drink the water that you give them. And what happened when that happened, they usually just basically sit in the water and just rot, like, you know. So if you got it from me, because I only ship them in Canada, you might not need to trim them. Especially if it has soil still stuck to it, I would just put it in the dirt and water them, let them sit for a while, and then let it completely dry before you water it again. Every time you take the right lithops out of the soil and then you put it back in, it's gonna take them a little bit to come back to where they're happy again. So that's just to keep in mind to check the root. And whatever you do, if you think you have problem with lithops and stuff, don't take them out of the soil if you can help it. I will talk about if you overwater them or stuff like that, and I will go over how we're gonna do, like, fix that in the watering section. Number three is water. This is the topic that everybody got so scared. I used to be scared too because I don't understand how they drink water and why they dying on me. Because trust me, I have killed a few of them before I got to this point. So basically, the watering, I cannot tell you the exact answer of this question because it's depend on so much things in your house. Like, even in my house, it's probably different than yours. It's depend on humidity, how airflow you have in the house, and how hot and all that stuff. So, but the bottom line is, every time when you water your lighthouse, um, if you think they need watering again, you make sure the soil, your dirt is completely dry before you water them again. If you have a good root system and you water them, they're not gonna, likely they're not gonna die on you because they can drink and take them in. But um you can look at them. If they start to get wrinkles, they probably need some water. But um this is a tricky thing because when they do the splitting and that, they will turn very wrinkly, look like they need some water, but they actually don't need the water because the baby will take all the moisture from the main leaf, the mother's leaf. So it look like it's need water, but it doesn't. But we will get into that when it close to the season of spreading again. Right now in May, they should already in the mid splitting now. So you shouldn't water them if they're splitting. But I will go over the reason I tell people to water them like every 2 weeks or so. That's how I like to do it. So let's say if I just plant the lithops and I trim the root, like if I got this from somewhere and the root is completely dry, I trim the root, I put them in the soil, and then I water them. At first I will water like every once every week because you need it to be a little damp so to make the root grow faster. But after a couple weeks or so, if you just kind of touch it and you feel like it's snuck in there, you can kind of do every 2 weeks, once every 2 weeks, and then after 2 or 3 weeks go by, you can do once a month now, just to keep the root hair, the little one, not the main one, the little one, alive and not dry. If you can keep that like not dry up on you, you water them, they will be fine. So don't worry about that. Um, but just don't be scared to water them. If you water around, not touching the body, and the root are good, you should be good. You shouldn't kill them. Okay, let's say if you accidentally overwater them, don't take them out of the pot. Uh, just leave them in the pot. Maybe you could put the fan on them to help it dry quicker so they don't sit in the soil too long in the damp, so they don't have less chance to rot the root. But try not to take them out of the pot every time something happened to them. Just maybe post a question in the group to ask for help or something. But just just try to figure out the way that you can dry them quickly, and they should be okay. Okay, now lighting. If you don't have a grow light like I do there, what I would do is find the window in your house that will get like a morning light. For my house is south facing windows. um I don't like to put them in direct sun for too long because I burnt them before. I know the Lithops like heat and sun and that, but because all my Lithops will grow under the grow light, I never take them outside. Like if your Lithops were outside and they good with it, so you fine. But for me, I don't like them in direct sunlight. So what I do, if you want to give them a little lighting, I would put them in the light in the morning only, maybe a couple hour morning light, or indirect sunlight. But I wouldn't put them in the sun in the afternoon because that will burn them. They also get burnt if it was so hot and humid, and even they're not in the direct sunlight. I have seen a case that they can burn from the inside out. Like if sometimes you see your Lithops color kind of change to like a pale white and then have some liquid seeping out of them, yeah, they are cooking at that point, so you should move them from the heat. So hopefully we will not see that happen to our baby buds. So that's the lighting. So find some south facing window, morning sunlight. Okay. Next is the airflows. When I talk about that is, sometimes in your house it's so muggy, like you don't have a lot of airflow in the house. What I use is I use a fan. Sometimes I open the window. If it's nice out, I just open the window and let the air flow in. But usually I just turn the fan on. I point it in one direction that is not directly facing them. So that way you make sure at least you have some airflow in the room. This will help a lot with mold problem. Like if you're doing a baby seedling for Lithops, you must have this. I find it. If not, your pots start to mold, and then you can lose some of the seedlings that way. So good airflow. Just keep in mind you need that for the soil to dry faster and stuff too, so you don't rot them. Okay, so this is the bonus add-on. I forgot to mention the pots. That is important too. It depends on what kind you're using. Most of mine is a plastic pot. I know some people like clay and ceramic one. So this will determine how you water them too. So let's say if you use a plastic pot, you might need to water them less than when you put them in the clay pot. And the ceramic pot are also different again. So you have to keep an eye on your soil to see how quick the soil dry, and then you can water them again if you like. But let's say if you have them for years or more, hopefully you kind of understand how long it takes for the soil to get dry, and then you can water them. And the one big thing is they should have a drainage hole though. I know a lot of time you got a very cute pots and that, and you want to put them in, and if you don't have a drainage, more chances it will rot on you. So recommend it with the drainage. So if you like to water them a lot, I would recommend the clay pot for you. But if you like, I water them when I remember kind of thing, go with the plastic one. And you probably not gonna kill them that way. And another thing I like to do for my Lithops is I play the music on, like for them all day. I'm not sure if it helped them or not, but I kind of enjoy having the music in the house too. So that's what I do to keep my lithops happy, healthy, and alive. So don't overthink it. Use what you have around the house. So remember, soil, root, water, light, airflow, and pots. And I will post all the detail about the soil mix I use and the pot size I use if you're interested. And if you have any question, please leave me a comment or just ask me a question on the group. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And see you in the next video. Bye! Hi, welcome to East Coast Living Stones. So today I would like to go over on